Hi, I've got something you'll be interested in. Those performance upgrades we discussed after the last race. They're on the car and the data looks promising. Take a look at the details.
What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and this is episode number 5 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Once again, a brand new upgrade on the car. But if you guys are excited for this episode, let's try and smash 300 likes on this video guys, and I'll try and get the next one up the very next day if I can, because at the moment I'm having a few struggles with my internet, so uploads may not be daily, but I'll try my best to get more on the car up if you guys smash the like target on this particular video. So in terms of obviously career mode this season, the first 4 races off to a pretty good start. The last one we really struggled in. If you guys did miss it, I do urge you to go check it out, and that'll hopefully make you realise how much of the situation we're in going into this race. And to be honest with you, at first I thought, going to Mercedes, I thought it'd be a hell of a lot easier, but so far we've genuinely struggled. We've led the championship all the way up until the last race, but even still, like, the car's not felt great, and I don't feel very confident. And also the upgrades, I can only do one at a time at the moment, so I've got to focus literally on just bringing basically one upgrade at a time. In this case, the durability ones, which are obviously to improve the reliability, because we need to try and get this car up to scratch. So I'm hoping after this race probably, or maybe after Monaco, we can then start actually improving the car in terms of performance and not just doing reliability stuff anymore. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that works out for us. But we're here in Spain, and the track has actually grown on me quite a bit on this year's game. I really enjoy it with this sort of current generation of F1 car, and overall a track that, if you get the lap hooked up, then it's a pretty damn good lap. And I was trying to find desperately a good setup that could work for me in practice, because obviously last time out in Sochi we did majorly struggle with just overall setup issues with the car, and that sort of haunted us for the entire weekend. So I wanted to try and iron out those wrinkles for this race weekend. And one of the things you can see me doing there is changing out from Power Unit 1 to Power Unit 2 for the first time this season, switching power units, and we'll come back to that power unit and run that in the next race in Monaco. But for now, we need a bit more engine power for this circuit, and that's exactly what we're going to get. Now, jumping into qualifying on Saturday for Q1 here on the medium compound tyres in the first part of qualifying, and this should hopefully see us through comfortably if we hook up a respectable lap. And I think it's been a pretty good lap, and I think that's going to be good enough to see us through just about. And there we go, across the line, P5. That's going to see us through, I believe, in P6 at the end of the session there, so not too shabby to kick off qualifying. Lewis Hamilton in second place, and we're now going to jump into Q2. Soft compound tyres for this one, a little bit more aggressive, but just keeping it a little bit higher up on the fuel, not pushing completely just yet. Also, there is a chance of rain in Q3, so we've got to keep that in mind. And also, the rain is going to be there at the start of the race tomorrow. That's what I'm going for, the soft tyres, because there's no point in me qualifying on the mediums. But as you can see, we get through comfortably in third place. And now in Q3, this was my best lap of the session, and the rain was actually coming down straight away. I left the track and I actually drove out. I didn't do the final lap. I drove out. I went out straight away here because the rain was coming down. So we had to react to the weather. And you can see there's Raikkonen just exiting the pit lane now. So he's going to be in the back foot. So far, we're starting off this lap, and straight away I can already feel the track's getting very greasy as I just about keep it within the track confines at turn 3. And then going through turn 4 here, I pick up the apex, but I go very wide, just the back end and the front end not working together in these sort of slippery conditions, and overall struggling for some grip as we go into turn 5. Get the car nicely pointed down to the apex there, good traction on the exit, and now down to this sort of downhill that switches to an uphill left-right-hander chicane. And on the exit we just lose the back end a bit and actually get the lap invalidated. So just like Australia, for the second time this season, due to the strict corner cutting, our lap is qualified in qualifying, and because of the conditions, obviously, and they were constantly getting wetter, we could not improve. So unfortunately, it's P10 for us. Hamilton managed to bag himself a P3 behind a Ferrari front row, but yeah, it's disappointing, and we're going to have to try and do the work tomorrow in the race. So without further ado, I'm straight to Sunday for round number 5 of the season for a very challenging Spanish Grand Prix. Right, so here we are on the grid at Catalunya, P10, not the best position. However, I feel confident we can make something happen here today. We are expecting a very interesting race, but first things first, obviously, starting from P10, it's not a dry race, so therefore we're all in the exact same tyres, so we've got to hope for a very good start. Obviously, Raikkonen took the championship lead last time out, so we've got to try and at least do some damage limitation and not let him gain too many points on us after this race. But overall, like I said, Spain is a track that I do seem to enjoy a bit a little bit more than I have in the past, and with these current cars, it's definitely the best it's ever been. So I'm looking forward to the challenge, and hopefully we can have a good race. I feel like the setup situation is better than Russia, so hopefully that will play into our hands a bit better than obviously in the last race. But overall, that is a bit of an introduction in terms of the race strategy for the race. As you can see, it's going to be drawn out bang on the halfway point. So I'm going to expect it to dry a little bit before that. That's normally what tends to happen when I see that session forecast. So I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt. I'm going to see. I think the deal breaker here is going to be if the AI actually come in for another set of intermediates, and if I can stay out on my original set. Because if that does indeed play out, that's the only way I'm going to pull something out the bag this race, I think, and really make up some big amounts of time. Also, I've underfueled the car by like half a lap because obviously I'm going to save fuel whilst in the wet conditions, and then I want to have a little bit saved up for the dry when those conditions eventually roll around. But overall, other than that, I'm looking forward to the race, guys. We're going to jump straight into it now for round number 5 for the Spanish Grand Prix. Right then, here we are on the grid. Round number 5, first race of the European season. 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go. And it's a pretty good getaway from us off the line here, actually, and everyone actually getting away fairly evenly, to be fair, out of all the AI cars. So here we go, making our way down to the first corner here. We're going to try and spot a little gap here if we can just try and sneak through up the inside of the Torosos. Raikkonen's gone off on the right hand side. The championship leader Raikkonen's had an incident and he's gone off the track. It's yellow flag conditions, so I can't overtake. I've got to let Ocon back past. And there we go, I've let him just to get ahead. So now we can go racing again. It's very close. Very close action here. We're just going to slip up the inside of Esteban at turn 4. Can we just pick up the traction though? Sebastian Vettel, I think, leads the way ahead of my teammate Lewis Hamilton. But we're up into P6 here. Incredible start in this race. And the big news, obviously, Raikkonen spinning out. So that's playing to our hands beautifully here. But now, let's set into this race a little bit, into these conditions. See how our car performs. And let's see what sort of damage we can do here today. Right, here we go then, on the slipstream of Perez here, and we set a personal best. I can't get in the straight lines for some reason, but we are going to just pull over to the inside and make the move under braking here into turn 1. He's going to hold it around the outside, to be fair. I'm just going to go around the outside of turn 2 though and make the move. The car feels horrible on the rear end, like the traction is absolutely horrific. I've got zero confidence in putting the accelerator down. The back end just wants to snap me. You can see by the amount of mini corrections I'm doing whilst accelerating how horrible the car is to just get the power down. The back end just wants to go. There's literally zero grip. It feels like I'm driving on ice. But the thing is, I do feel like I've got some good pace around here. So if I can just control the back tires and control the back end, I can do some serious damage here. But we've got past Perez, so I think we can get past the Red Bulls also in a couple of laps altogether. Get past the pair of them. So once we're clear now, I think we can chase down this podium. I think, well, I say the podium, I think we can chase down this top 2 because we just got to clear the Red Bulls, and I think that's very much doable at the moment. Right, I've definitely got the pace here. I'm going on right to the back of Ricciardo, another personal best, and I'm not going to be close enough to make a move just yet. The rain's going to dry in about 10 minutes time, so if we time this right, if we can just get past the Red Bulls before the track dries up, then we're going to be in a very good position to hopefully attack the top 2 if we have to pace in the dry, which is the big question. In the wet, as much as I'm struggling with the back end of the car, we do have the pace, which is very encouraging. So I'm hoping with race pace, obviously, and race fuel, that we can also have the pace on the dry compound tyres. But so far, we're looking very good here. Okay, through the final corner, I've had a much better exit this time. We're very close to Daniel Ricciardo. Here we go in the slipstream. I think this is going to be the one. We're going to get a nice run. The Red Bull's actually pretty good in a straight line. Ricciardo does go defensive. I'm going to commit to the move anyway and go up the inside of the Australian. And what a move that was. Up into P4, fantastic manoeuvre, and now we can chase after his teammate Max Verstappen, and that will be a podium position. So let's try and hunt him down. Meanwhile, Pascal Wehrlein has retired from the race, as you can see on the right hand side there. No safety car trigger, which is very good for me because I'm in the groove right now and I don't want to be interrupted. My rhythm is very good here. Right, here we go. I'm getting a huge run on Max Verstappen on the start of lap 9 here. Verstappen's also going to go defensive like Ricciardo. I'm still going to go to the inside and put off the exact same move on the Dutchman. He's still there though. I'm just going to close the door on him. And there we go. We're up into 3rd place. Absolutely incredible start to this race. Let's try and push now in this remaining part of the intermediate period and try and catch my teammate and also Sebastian Vettel. And let's see if we can make anything else happen before we switch over to the dry tyres. Okay, so Seb's in the pit lane. This was my scheduled lap to pit, but I'm going to stay out, and obviously because I'm staying out, Lewis is not going to come in unless he goes against the team's orders. But as you can see, you just saw briefly there my tyres, 63% on the left rear, the question is, the rain's probably going to dry in 5 minutes time. Is this too risky of a call? We'll have to wait and see. We're basically rolling the dice now, and we're going to try our best. Regardless if a tire does pop, we're going to go straight to the dries. But yeah, we're just taking a shot in the dark and risking it for the race win, hopefully. And I hope this really hope this pays off, because this would be an incredible race if we pull it off. Okay, Lewis comes in, so he's had enough of those inters. So I'm going to inherit the race lead. Now the question is, can we make this left rear last? We've got to really try and take it easy on these tyres. I'm going to be riding solo. Everyone else behind me has pit now, so everyone's going to be switching over to fresh inters. So it's a question of trying to now maintain this tyre and keep it in and not like basically kill it off. Right, we're going to stay out for one more lap. Sebastian Vettel's about 3.5 down the road. So this is the lap we're going to come in. This is the lap where Vettel's going to be right on the back of me, and he's going to pass me. So to avoid that, we need to come in and respond. So like I said, I can afford to lose that 3.5 this lap, but my tyres are shot to pieces. You would have just seen, I'll bring it up again so you can see, my left rear is about to enter the danger zone. So I'm entering puncture territory now. So I've got to take it very easy this lap and make sure I don't have the left rear pop on me. Right, I think we've survived. We've taken the gamble, and I think it's paid off. Now the question is the track actually dry enough for slick tyres? We'll have to wait and see. But here we go. Vettel stays out for another lap. I'm going to come in. So let's get it all sorted down for the pit entry. And now let's see if we've made the right call. I'm going to go into the hard compound tyres. I could go mediums, but I want to like 100% make sure I'm going to make it to the end of the race. So I'm just going to go into the hards just for a precaution and try and get this to the end. This is the hardest obviously available compound, but hopefully we shouldn't have any issues. Like I said, I think we've timed this right, and if we have, then I won't be too worried. I mean, I'll be happy to defend going towards the end of the race. But now let's see what the track is like. Straight away I felt a bit of wheel spin there, so the track might be a little bit wet, but I physically couldn't have stayed out anymore on those inters, and the track does feel a little bit wet. So it's not too bad. I mean, the rain has actually stopped, so it will come to me in maybe a lap or two, so I'm happy to take that gamble. So now it's a question of trying to find the pace straight away and not lose too much time, and then once the track hits me, I've got to be very quick to make up that time to Vettel. Right, personal best, fastest final sector. This could be the lap now. I've got to try and hook this up. We've got to be on the back of them Red Bulls by the end of this lap. Okay, so some cars are coming into the pit lane. I think they're coming in for dry tyres here. We've been setting some good pace. Lewis is in the pit lane. The question is, did Sebastian Vettel come in as well? I don't think he did. I think Vettel's staying out for one more lap, maybe. There is a car down the end, so that might be Sebastian. We'll have to wait and see. And yes, I think it is Sebastian Vettel, so he's managed to rejoin in the lead. The question is, what tyre is he on? Have the AI made a mistake and gone into intermediates, or is Sebastian on dries? Either way, we are right now in a net P2, so this is a very good result for us if we can bring it home like this. Right, we're all over the back of Verstappen. It's definitely now dry tyres. DRS is now enabled, so here we go. We're just going to pull to the left-hand side and make a comfortable move on Verstappen. He's going to give me a good old squeeze, to be fair to him, but I'm just going to take the inside line here. It's a bit more slippery than the racing line because he's pushed me to the inside, but we've made the move anyway, and we're into second place. Vettel has gone to hard, surprisingly, so at least we're on the same tyre, so he's just up the road, so you never know. This race might not be out of our reach just yet. I thought Vettel would have been at least mediums, so let's see how this goes. Let's see what our pace is like. We might have a chance here. Okay, so Vettel just got held up by Ocon, who's going very slowly. I think he's got a puncture, so the gap is now down to 1.9 here, so let's see what we can do. We might have a chance of actually pulling this off thanks to Ocon, who just held up Vettel through turn 9. The question is obviously Vettel is on fresher tyres, so it'll come back to him at the end of the race. So we've got to see what our pace is like, and let's see if we can keep up with him at the moment. But we're on course obviously in our fastest lap. The lap times are dropping now every single lap, so let's push on and let's see what we can do. Sebastian's really doing some good pace at the moment. I can't match him. I'm about a tenth a second per lap slower, literally just a tenth, if not half a tenth. He's just got that little edge of pace faster than me at the moment, and I can't keep up with him. Okay, we've both got past Marcus Ericsson. I've just done the fastest lap, so I'm finding a little bit more pace here. 1.4. Vettel did get held up slightly by Ericsson more than I did, but the question is, can we pull it out of the bag? Do we have enough pace? Right, Vettel just found another level. I think he's gone up to Rich Mix. He's just found a lot more pace. So the gap's just gone up by about 6/10 that lap, so I think Vettel might be turning it on here. Oh, safety car. Ooh, Felipe Massa out of the race. This is very interesting. Is this going to give us a last chance of getting past Sebastian Vettel? There are enough laps left here to make something happen, so oh, this is very interesting. I'll come back to you maybe at the end of the lap, but this is really blowing it wide open now. Okay, so Sebastian stays out, and I've looked at the mini-map. I think we're okay, so I'm going to come in here for soft compound tyres. I reckon we could pull this one off. So let's get it all slowed down for the pit entry. There we go. Nice and solid. Let's try and make something happen here in the dying stages of the Grand Prix. So let's try and go for this race win. I don't know if it'll work out or not, but there we go. 2.7 stop, not too bad. There goes Hamilton, so he's gone by. The question is, where's Daniel Ricciardo? I think that might be him coming by now. Oh, that's one of the two cars. Maybe not. No, okay, it's not Ricciardo. There's Ricciardo coming now, so let's get up to speed. Can we get ahead of Ricciardo? It's going to be very close. We just don't make it, though. We are going to rejoin just behind Daniel Ricciardo, but on fresh, soft tyres, this could get very interesting. I think we'll have no issues recovering the position that we were in anyway, but the pace between myself and Vettel was actually getting worse. My tyre wear was starting to kick in, and also Vettel was about 7-8 tenths a lap faster than me. I think he was also in rich mix because even in the sectors where there's like more straights, like sector 1 for example, he was just pulling away a stupid amount. So at least now it's going to be a bit more a level playing field, and I'm saving a bit of fuel now from now to the end of the race, which I don't need to save anymore. So this is going to be a very interesting climax to the Spanish Grand Prix, and overall a bit of a mad race, to be honest. Right, it's time for the safety car restart. Vettel leads the way. You'll notice just behind me there is a certain Kimi Raikkonen there in P7, so he's managed to get himself back into this race after that issue at the start. This is a very, very bunched up train. I'm in rich mix here, so I'm ready to pull off the overtakes. We've got to get past Ricciardo straight away here, so let's be very good on this restart and put these soft tyres to good use. So here we go, green flag conditions. We're racing again at Catalunya, and here we go. We're going to fly past the lap cars, or at least Marcus Ericsson, and also Lance Stroll up the road, also moving out the way. I think he's battling with somebody, but here we go with Daniel Ricciardo. Fresh tyres put to the test. Can we go for it on the brakes? I'm going to stick my nose in, and we actually are going to make the move there. A little bit of a scruffy one, but also the McLaren that was lapped getting in the way. So we're up into P3, so that's one move done. Now we've got to get past Stroll, and then basically floor it for 2 laps and see if we can do anything to catch Sebastian Vettel here. So let's try and make light work of all these guys around us and try and catch Sebastian. Into the final sector on the last lap, and Vettel's going to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Unfortunately, we couldn't make anything happen, and I think Hamilton's actually going to finish ahead of me, surprisingly, and I've sort of thrown that one away, but I'm not too worried because, like I said, we're going to gain points on Raikkonen, and that's the thing that matters the most. But across the line, we do set the fastest lap across the line, but it just wasn't enough. One more lap and we could have got 2nd place, but unfortunately, it's going to be the 3rd step on the podium. I thought it was worth the risk. Like I said, Raikkonen was further down the road, so it's one of them risks that I could have taken. I think also there was a lot of lap cars in the way, and if we just come out ahead of Ricciardo, that would have made a huge difference. Unfortunately, we just didn't get the pit stop quick enough, and I think we probably lost a couple of tenths on the table, to be honest, on the pit entry, which was a little bit disappointing. But overall, it's going to be very close, and we did the best we could do. Once again, it's a podium, so I'm not going to complain, but, you know, it could have always been, it always could have been a bit of a different outcome, but overall, that was going to be it for the Spanish Grand Prix, and overall, not too shabby. Like I said, Vettel wins, that's not too concerning, and Hamilton gets a deserved 2nd place, so I'll take third place for this one, and hopefully the next race in Monaco will bounce back, which is a track I'm actually really curious about, because I want to see what the Mercedes handles around it, because if it's based off of the real life 2017 cars, then we could be in trouble around there. Or maybe not. We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be very interesting. But other than that, Vettel on top of the podium for the first time, I believe, this season. So a deserved win for him. But other than that, we're going to jump into the final race results, drivers and constructors standings, to see exactly how things shape up after that crazy race. Right, so looking at the final race results for the race, you can see that Sebastian Vettel wins ahead of myself and Lewis Hamilton, or should I say Lewis Hamilton and myself. Then Ricciardo and Verstappen finishing 4th and 5th respectively, switching positions from their starting grid place. Sergio Perez and Kimi Raikkonen in 6th and 7th there. Raikkonen losing points to me, which is very, very helpful for the World Championship. And then Romain Grosjean, Danny Kvyat and Nico Hülkenberg ran out the points. In terms of lower down the order, you can see that Pascal Wehrlein and Felipe Massa, the 2 major DNFs of the Grand Prix, and Esteban Ocon there with issues down in P18. But in terms of the driver standings after that race, the top 4 close up once again, especially the top 3. Sebastian Vettel back in contention after that race win, and the top 3 covered by 8 points. I lead the way once again, and Lewis Hamilton only 21 behind. And if he racked up a race win on the cards, then he'll be right back in that World Championship mix as well. In terms of the constructors though, Ferrari hold the lead by 9 points, but we're breathing down their necks, and it's going to be neck and neck between the Silver Arrows and the Prancing Horses, I think, for all season long. It's going to be very, very exciting, but we're now going to move into the laptop. Okay, so we're going to purchase a MGUK upgrade and try and improve the reliability on that. Then we've only got to do the MGUH, and then after that, all we've got to do is the ICE, which is this one here. So that will give us access to the ultimate engine upgrade. And then after that, it's pretty much free game to upgrade wherever we want. After the last episode, I didn't show you guys, but we did actually upgrade the simultaneous development, which is this one here. So we've actually got the first one done, so we can actually do more than 2 upgrades per department now. So that's a good little upgrade that I got at the end of the last episode, which I didn't mention, but we're slowly getting somewhere now, and bit by bit we are starting to get there and improve this car, and hopefully very soon, going into the European season, into the thick of it, after probably the Canadian Grand Prix, we can start bringing in some tasty upgrades. But other than that, guys, that's going to wrap things up for this episode of Career Mode. And if you have enjoyed it, then please do slap a like on the video. Let's try and smash 300 likes for this episode, like I said at the start. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and please do check out any of the videos on screen right now if you have missed it, or the entire playlist also on screen right now. And also do check out GT Omega in the links down below in the description, and use the code TOM97 for 5% off at checkout. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.